Erik ten Hag. 2 games at Bayer Leverkusen, out. Why have they done it?
It was funny because the sporting director, Simon Rolfes, who used to play for them, of course, he spoke about it at lunchtime today. He gave a press conference. Erik ten Hag's had his social media retort, and maybe we'll get to that in a little minute. But Rolfes said, look, I made a mistake, but it would have made it a worse mistake if I hadn't have done anything about it. Now, of course, you go back to him taking over in July when he wasn't the first choice. They thought they had Cesc Fabregas. They didn't. Because Como wouldn't let him go, and Fabregas wasn't prepared to go to war with them, of course, as a part shareholder. And so they ended up a couple of choices down the line with Ten Hag, and it felt like quite a good placeholder. He's got a good reputation in Germany. But from the off, there were misgivings. I mean, about 2 weeks in, they went on this promotional tour of Brazil and lost 5-1 to the Flamengo under-20s. And then he said after that, well, no one's bothered about the results of pre-season games, are they? Everyone's a little bit on edge. And then from there, of course, lots of people who are defending Ten Hag will understandably say, of course, they've sold a lot of players. Even before Hincapie, they'd sold over 200 million euros worth of players this summer, so it's a real sea change. But one of the key players going was Granit Xhaka, of course, who was the chief lieutenant on pitch of Xabi Alonso. But they felt that he didn't really make much sense. In a post-Xabi Alonso world, they could get out from under the rest of his expensive contract, make some money with him. And the CEO, Fernando Caro, and Rolfes, the sporting director, they signed this off with Ten Hag, and then Ten Hag goes public and says, I don't think we should sell him. I'm pretty sure that's not the conversation we had 2 days ago. And this was one of a series of things that really set them on edge. And then you could tell in the first couple of games, not only were the performances poor, not only did the team look really untrained, but it was the fact that Mark Flecken, who of course has just joined from Brentford, after the first game where they lost at home to Hoffenheim, he was happy to tear the team's performance to bits in front of journalists. And you're like, well, if Ten Hag really had authority here, that wouldn't happen. You had an argument over who was taking a penalty at the weekend, and the captain had to step in. Ten Hag moaned about that in the press conference afterwards. So he's contributed quite a lot to his own downfall as well.
Andy, we've got about 15 seconds. Can you tell us how Ten Hag reacted to his sacking?
He said it was all Leverkusen's fault, basically. He said he didn't feel backed by the club, and everyone who's ever stuck with him has won a trophy at the end of the season. Spoiler alert, if they'd have stuck with him, they wouldn't have.